morning. This is day one. This is day one of the Daily Stoic. And in month one, we are talking about clarity, which is part of the discipline of perception. So the discipline of perception we will be covering for 4 months, January, February, March, and April. And the first month is going to be all about clarity. Okay, and again, if you haven't picked up this book, I highly recommend you do. It's the Daily Stoic, Ryan Holiday. There's also a journal that goes with this. Again, highly recommend doing the work, guys. Really, really, really do. This is coming from a masculine perspective, and it's not that this cannot be used for the feminine perspective. It's just that this is the only perspective that I know how to deliver this message in. I'm a masculine man, so please understand that that is the form in which this message will be delivered. So January 1st, we are talking about control and choice. Control and choice. The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are external, not under my control, and which have to do with the choices that I can actually control. When then do I look for good and evil? Not to uncontrollable externals, but within myself and to the choices that are my own. This is perhaps one of the single most important Stoic philosophies, right? Is differentiating what is between your control is what is not in between your control. So let's use body, right? I am 6'1". I have a crooked ear, I have a crooked tooth, right? I accept this because this is how I was made. However, what I can control is what I put in my mouth and when I move my body. So yes, I am 45 years old. Yes, I have six-pack abs. No, I'm not going to show them to you. But the point is, I can control what I put in my mouth, how I move my body, so that the body that I was given is at its peak possible condition. Now, I can't be 6'4", and I certainly won't be upset about that because that's not within my control. But if I have extra pounds on my body, I will focus on that mission and I will remove those pounds from my body because that is what is in my control. That is an example. Also in this, right, is famously, they use this for alcoholics, a serenity prayer, right? God grant me the strength to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. If this is not rooted deeply in Stoic philosophy, then nothing else is. This is the centerpiece and the core of it. Now, addicts cannot change the abuse they suffered during childhood. Me, good example, right? Didn't have the best childhood. Spent a lot of time alone as a kid. Blame my father, blame my mother, right? Can't change that, but what I can change is my mindset. I can look back and say, you know, those experiences gave me the courage to be an independent man, to be able to make my decisions on my own. So I'm going to leave you with this. The same is true for us today, right? If we can focus on making clear what parts of our day are within our control and what parts are not, we'll not only be happier, right? But we'll have a distinct advantage over other people who fail to realize they are fighting an unwinnable battle. Okay, it's an election year, guys, right? It's an election year. People are looking at the TV, screaming about Trump, screaming about Biden. Let me ask you a question. Do you have any control over who is going to win this election? Who's even going to be in this election? The answer is no, right? I mean, control, you have your vote, right? But most people know who they're going to vote for, right? So let me ask you this. If you spend all these months in this election cycle taking in all this information, all this negative stuff, you're consuming all this stuff, you're focusing on all this, you have no control over where you could be using that time and attention to learn a new skill, read a book, spend time with your kid, work on your business, work on your life. It's a lot of wasted time on something that you cannot control. Turn off the TV, turn off the news, get off social media. You can't control that Karen is upset that you said something. You cannot control the opinions of others. What you can control is your actions. So that is what we are going to do today. Today is about choice and control. It is about control and choice. Understanding what is in your control and what is not. Is that external or is that under my control? Guys, thank you for sharing this moment with me today. And again, today, this is day one. There's things I'm going to do to implement Stoicism into my life. I'm going to share those over the next couple weeks and months. And I'm excited for this journey. And I hope that somebody takes it with me. And again, there's a lot of good resources out there. This is the Daily Stoic. This is only one. There's a lot of good books on audiobook too, right? But really what it comes down to is do a deep dive, become a professor of this jungle. And when you do, you will win the war in your mind. And once you win the war in your mind, everything is possible in your life. So you will see me doing this on the road, in the gym, in my apartment, my very humble apartment, right? Because I choose to live a life of poverty. I do. And that's why I love this lifestyle. I don't need materialism. My validation comes from within. Thank you to this amazing mindset journey. So start today, day one, the Daily Stoic, and this is Fortitude through Stoicism. Fortitude is the strength of mind to overcome and be resilient. It is my brand. It is my mindset. It is what I try and teach. And the way to fortitude is through Stoicism.